Well, it all comes down to this for tonight, folks. At the conclusion of the race, we will know who the 2024 Cup Series champion will be. Will it be Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, or Joey Logano? Now, we can still get a different race winner, as was proven yesterday with Whitey Hurst getting the win, while Justin Allgaier got the championship. And the same thing happened last year, with Roshan Stain getting the win and Blaney getting the title. But one thing has been proven so far: it is very difficult, near impossible, to go back-to-back as champions, since Cole Custer had the opportunity to do so in the Xfinity Series race, but came up short for doing just that. Now, that being said, I still think I'm going to do another change my mind bit for today. I'm going to put Joey Logano as the favorite to win the championship this year. And he's going to be the first driver in this format to be a 3-time champion. However, if he doesn't, then most likely it'll be Byron. Then I'm going to put Blaney third best with 4, and then Reddick last. Don't distractions with the team and whatnot. I just don't think Reddick is mentally prepared to get the championship, to be honest. Now, Hendrick does have the slight advantage of being more focused in comparison. Sure, Toyota would do everything in their power from the technical side of things to give Reddick a shot for the title, but let's face it, this is Hendrick Motorsports we're talking about, and they at Penske are arguably the 2 best teams we got right now. So I say most likely one of them will get the title, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Logano. First, then Byron, then Blaney. Speaking of 2011, I read on Facebook that apparently Hamlin is considering skipping the Clash and the Daytona 500 for the team, since for the moment they'll have to race as an open team. Now the Clash, I can understand, 9 points event, who cares? But the 500 is the biggest payout of the season. Personally, if I was Hamlin, I would be an idiot to not go for the 500. Especially if that team performs well. Just look at what the money would do for your team. It will buy you some time until you get the legal situation with NASCAR settled. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, Hamlin does indeed decide not to run the team at both the Clash and 500. This does lead to 3 questions I want to ask all of you. 1. Will 2311 be forced to be a part-time team because of this? 2. If so, then will be forced to part ways with Tyler Reddick and or Bubba Wallace and bring in a part-time driver in. And 3. Will Toyota and Gibbs push Legacy more into an alliance with them if they lose 2311? And the same thing with Front Row. Assuming they decide to skip the Clash at the 500, what will Ford do now? Are you trying to put more of their effort into Rick Ware Racing, for example, or Haas? Is Front Row possibly forced to be a part-time team as well because of this? don't know yet for certain. But during the off-season, I am keeping an eye on the legal side of things, as well as the television contract for the announcers, and anything else that happens along the way. Which brings me to my last point in this portion of the video. The plans for this channel, NASCAR Rise, going forward. Yes, I'm still going to make NASCAR content. That's one of the sports that I love. That's not going to go away. But during the off-season, it's going to be more or less a weekly affair, instead of situations like this where it's twice a week or possibly daily or for 3 days in a row. As for other original content, I plan to covering more things in the public domain and retail, plus the history of a certain, plus the other things I might find interesting along the way. Speaking of public domain, yes, shorts and films are still going to be coming on this channel as well, so keep an eye out for those as well. But I do want to thank all of you for watching this channel. It's a slow growth, I will admit, but we're getting there. 67 subscribers, and I do appreciate every single one of you. So I do want to say thanks, and I'll be back after work for a brief recap of the Cup race. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, Joey Logano won the race at Phoenix, and is a 3-time champion of the NASCAR Cup Series. And I know what most of you will be thinking right by now in the comments. He does not deserve it because of his average finish. Okay, fair enough. But let me ask you this. Let's just say that for all intents and purposes, that Bowman still disqualified for what happened at Charlotte. And Logano was not the 9th place driver at that time. Say Keselowski or Centric or Truex, for example. And one of them makes a round of 8 instead of Bowman. Will you still be crying, or rather complaining, about the format if that was the case? But it seems to me that you're just putting the blame on Logano because he did what he had to do in the round of 8 to even have a chance for the championship, instead of focusing on the true problem, which is the format. Now, first of all, I do want to extend my congratulations to Joey Logano and Team Penske, because 3 peats and 3 championships aren't easy to do, and they managed to pull it off. Regardless of how we feel about the format, that is an accomplished feat, and there's no use getting around that. That is an accomplishment that we may never see again, or at least may never see again for a while, and we should at least appreciate it. Whether or not you like the format or not, that's up to you. Besides, NASCAR themselves say they're not getting rid of the playoffs, so a 4-season format is out of the question. So my question to all of you is this: within a playoff format, what will work for you? Do you want how it was prior to 2014, when you had 10 races to determine a championship with no eliminations? Do you want to keep the current format but drop the win and you end format? Do you want a combination of the two, but with just one elimination at the halfway point? Or if you got your own ideas that isn't a 4-season format, because, like I said, NASCAR's not going to go back to a 4-season format, so you might as well just forget that. Let me know in the comments. I also want to say thank you to Mark Truex Jr. for a remarkable career as a full-time driver. He may not have won a race in his final season, but there's no doubt that being 2 last year at Gateway has continued on to this season. We'll have to wait and see if there's going to be any significant changes for 2025. What kind of bounce back from all of this? Because if he doesn't, then that Gateway victory might be his last in Cup. Never thought I'd say that about Kyle Busch. But his win streak was a remarkable one in his own right, too. And remember, when he drove for Gibbs, there were 2 seasons when he had 1 win towards the end of his run, and 1 was in the playoffs. So just keep that in mind that this wasn't just a children's thing. And speaking of Gibbs, well, it appears that FedEx will be coming back to Denny Hamlin next year. And let's face it, FedEx themselves is struggling in their own right, so it's for the best that they move on. The question remains, though, at this time is who's going to take over as sponsorship for the 11 car, for at least for the races that FedEx usually covers. And what about Hamlin? Will he be forced to retire due to the lack of sponsor? Like I brought up earlier in the first half of this video, I discussed the future of his team, since for the most part they were forced to be raced as open teams, and instead they might make a clash in the 500 because of that. If that happens, could Reddick or Wallace possibly get the 11 ride if Hamlin walks away? So that would be able to keep one of their drivers in a chartered ride. Now, I'm not saying that is the case. I don't know the situation regarding 11, but it's interesting to follow in the offseason how that's going to play out as well. But despite the championship, the race was good. Really doing, I like to talk about, was the terrible crash of Shane Smith and Ty Gibbs. Other than that, the race was relatively clean. And for a Phoenix race, it was pretty good. Not one of the best races of all time, but still, for what it's worth, it was good. Our mid-race race of the season, at least at Phoenix, was the Xfinity Series race. But at least one thing, Ford managed to grab 4 of the 6 spots possible for the championship on the owners and the driver side of things. So, solid effort from the Ford team, which already marks Penske's third straight championship before this World Cup. And don't be surprised if Penske somehow finds himself back in the championship war again next year, or if they don't keep the format or not. We'll see, though. We shall see. But until then, I'll be back this week with see if I can find any side updates regarding this or that sometime this week. And by early February, I'll be back to talk about the clash in the Daytona 500. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.